first goal in this game is uber important. Yeah, there's nothing easy about that. I can't believe I'm saying this, but you can do it. Welcome everybody.
Like, what the hell is going on? That all these players at Liverpool was an absolute. Let's not get crazy. Here we go. 3-team teaser. 08. They just don't give a shit. Yeah. So.
Welcome back to the football predictions with me and Teacher Mark. This is match day 8.
Match day 8. Match day 7 was mental.
It
Absolutely
was
mental. Yeah. I mean, we don't have time to get into all this stuff, but welcome everybody out there, first of all. And second of all, like, I do have to ask the question. Obviously, the huge talking point is the Liverpool-Spurs game.
All right.
This story's not going away. Mm-hmm. Like, usually when we have like these like controversial decisions, 50-50 decisions, supporters bitching, was it this, was it that, like, it'll go away pretty quickly. But this one is not. It has legs. It's sticking around because it's such a fuck up by everybody involved.
Yep.
And it begs the bigger question: what's the point of doing all this? Like, if we're looking at the Premier League table right now, if we look at the table right now, and everybody who loves the Premier League and is looking at that table, we know it's not correct.
Yep.
We know the table's not correct. We know that Spurs have too many points and Liverpool have too few points, and that's a full stop fact. So they always say the table doesn't lie, the table doesn't lie. Well, guess what? The table's lying right now. It's 100% incorrect. So if the table's not correct, and the integrity of the league has been damaged and compromised, what's the point of doing all this? Like, what's the point of playing match day 8? What's the point of playing match day 20? What's the point of playing match day 38 if we know that what we're seeing at is artificial? That's what concerns me about this. They've got a big mess on their hands. That's why I do say replay the game. I know that opens up a lot of legal questions. It opens up questions about will it happen again in the future. But I say open up all those questions. I say let everybody in. Let the lawyers in. Let it become a big mess. Because if what we're looking at is not true and it's not authentic, then I have a hard time enjoying the rest of this season.
Okay.
And we'll just leave it at that.
We'll just leave it at that.
We'll just leave it at that because we don't have enough time to get in for all the other stuff, so we're going to leave it like that.
Yep.
But some real big results last week. Man City shocking loss. Man United in a complete mess. Højlund did look good against Galatasaray the other day.
He did.
He did. Although people are going mental for that second Højlund goal in that game when he ran down 50 yards and scored a goal. Let's get one thing straight. The defender slipped and fell down. like people are going crazy about this Man U goal. If it was Davinson Sanchez, by the way. If he doesn't slip and fall down, that goal doesn't happen. Now, fair play. It's still incredible athleticism, incredible ball control, incredible finish. But if the defender doesn't slip, that doesn't happen.
Yep.
And if Man United and Højlund are counting on defenders slipping and falling down every week so they can score goals, they're in big trouble.
They are in big trouble. Yep, you're right. And one problem at that game. Andrew Onana leading to Casemiro's red card. What do you think about it?
Oh, well, I think it was a mess from Onana. He's done it again.
He's done it again.
He's done it again. Let's just say that. This guy's, it's just bonkers with this guy. You never know what's going to happen. But exciting win for Galatasaray. Mm-hmm. I know a real big Galatasaray supporter who was just thrilled about that win. Absolutely thrilled. Okay. And we got to say Newcastle last night over PSG, a monumental night for them. Saudi Arabia over Qatar.
Yeah. I mean, that's quite shocking. But to be fair, they're playing at home, and their fans were like, momentum, everything. Their fans were absolutely mental.
It was spectacular. Yep. Absolutely spectacular. So well done to Newcastle out there. Well done to Galatasaray. Well done to Wolves last week in the Premier League. Well done to Palace last week in the Premier League.
We come on to Wolves.
Nobody saw that coming. But we're going to get into Man City because they've got a big match this weekend, and I want to talk about Man City. So we got Europa League tonight. There's some interesting matches. By the way, Brighton are playing Marseille tonight in the Europa League. Very interesting game.
Marseille, yep.
In France. Very, very tricky game. But we're going to get into the Premier League. And let's just start off with the early kickoff in the Premier League. 6:30 game here in Bangkok. Luton Town at home, Kenilworth Road. Spurs coming in. Spurs still unbeaten in the Premier League. They're coming off 3 ridiculous games. The win against Sheffield United with 2 late goals. The draw with Arsenal and the win against Liverpool, that was beyond controversial. It was, at best, it was farcical, and at worst, it was beyond corrupt. Luton Town coming off of a great win over Everton, but then they lost midweek against Burnley at home.
Yep.
Now they're back at home again. What do you think about this game?
Well, like I said, I mean, Spurs are on a roll right now. They proved to me that their standards was quite high from the game against Arsenal. But Luton Town, they've lost against Burnley, and they're struggling. And like the bottom of the table now were just like, the points were like 0-0-0.
Yep.
The differential was just like the difference between goals.
Yep.
That is it. And I think even though Luton Town are playing at home, I still don't think they can do it.
Luton Town, I'm still waiting for that big Luton Town Kenilworth Road moment. They have that amazing home pitch advantage, and like it hasn't happened yet. They did have a draw with Wolves at home, but the big matches at home, they've come up short. I think it's going to change this weekend.
It's going to change.
I do. I can't feel good about Spurs based on what I saw with Liverpool game last weekend. If decisions would have been correct in that game, or at least half correct, Spurs were going to lose that game. At best, it was going to be a draw. I don't really like the way Spurs played in that match. I don't.
Okay.
They played 20 minutes of 11 on 9 and looked terrible. Absolutely terrible with 20 minutes at 11 on 9, which is insane.
Okay.
I'm going to go for a draw in this game, and I'm going to talk more about it in my 3-team teaser. I think Luton Town are good for a point in this game. I've just got a feeling.
Okay.
I just have a feeling that Luton Town are good for something in this game.
So what do you think the score's going to be?
I'm going to go for a exciting 2-2 draw.
2-2 draw.
Yep.
Well, if it does, look, well, you said that Luton Town's going to have a little advantage in this game. I'm going to say this. It's going to be a low score and could be a positive clue masterclass 1-0.
1-0 Spurs. I mean, 1-0 is listen, Spurs are heavy favorites. They're one of 2 unbeaten teams in the Premier League.
Yep.
James Maddison is having an amazing season. So, obviously, they have all the advantage. But in football, you never know. And I think this is going to be one of those days.
One of those days.
Okay,
if you say so.
I'm going for one of those days.
I'll go for 1-0.
1-0 Postecoglou. Well, he's done a great job so far. He has. So then let's get into a lot of the other kickoffs. Everton at home with Bournemouth.
Everton against Bournemouth.
Bournemouth at this game's at Goodison Park. Everton coming off an absurd loss to Luton Town at home at Goodison Park last weekend.
Yep.
Everton look like absolute garbage right now, but I just have a feeling like there's no way that Everton are going to lose 2 games in a row at home against Luton Town and Bournemouth. I am going for an Everton win in this game.
You're going for Everton
I
win?
am, yep. What do you make of it?
Well, you know that Bournemouth is the team that they can score.
Bournemouth can score.
Mean, almost every team they go against, they score.
I mean, Bournemouth got their asses kicked last week against Arsenal 4-0 at home. They're coming off an ugly 4-0 at home. And Arsenal really, really put it on them good in that game.
You know, I can see some Tarkowski masterclass hitting in this game.
Okay.
Or even Beto.
Okay.
Beto scoring for this. But I do think Bournemouth's going to score, so I'm just going to say Everton's going to nick it 2-1.
I'm going for 2-1 as well. Same pick. I'm going for an Everton 2-1 win. But I'm going to talk more about this game in my teaser as well. I can't believe I'm saying this, but I do feel good about Everton in this game. I do. I can't
Which
believe
you always don't.
I know.
From
but
the previous episode.
I just got a feeling about Everton in this game. So Burnley at home with Chelsea. Burnley coming off of a win over Luton Town a few days ago. Burnley have been terrible at home so far in the Premier League. Terrible. Chelsea coming off of a 2-0 win away to Fulham a few nights ago. What do you think about this game?
Well, I've talked to him before we filmed this game. I was like, you gotta listen to this. I think Burnley's gonna get them. I think Burnley's gonna get Chelsea. And Burnley, they're waiting for their home win.
I know they've been so bad at home. Like, not only have they been losing at home, they've been getting their asses kicked at home. Like, they haven't even played a one competitive home game so far.
I think this is it.
This is it.
This is it against Chelsea. This is what Winston's company is going to tell to their team. If you want to get a home win, this is a team that you can do.
The target.
I mean, I hope Chelsea crisis continue because I had lots of bad history with Chelsea, especially that Kai Havertz goes to the Champions League, but past is past. But this game, Jackson, I mean, he's fucking terrible now.
I mean, even when they won against Fulham the other night, Jackson had another bad game.
I mean, who gives a shit about it? I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, Jackson, who cares? But now they're playing Jackson. Even he's a good. I mean, he got that pace, but now he's going against Trafford.
Yep.
I think Trafford is a masterclass. So I don't think Chelsea's going to go in this game. I did tell him that. I think Burnley's going to win this game. So guess what, fellas?
Burnley.
Hear it now. Burnley's going to win 2-0.
2-0. Man, all right, so we discussed this game a bit, and I you know how I feel about Chelsea. They're beyond toxic, and I don't trust them. I know that they beat Fulham the other night, and they beat Brighton in the League Cup last week as well, so they've got 2 straight wins. But one thing I am going to give Chelsea a lot of credit for is so far their defending has been absolutely amazing. Their defending has been the best in the Premier League.
Okay.
I believe they're number 2 in goals given up with 6, and I think Man City might have 5. Chelsea's defending is amazing, and if Chelsea get the first goal in this game against Burnley, they are going to win it, full stop.
Okay.
They will win this game if they get the first goal. Their defending is that good. I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw in this game.
You're going for 1-1
1-1 draw, yeah. I don't like Chelsea, but I do like their defending. I think Burnley will get a goal, though, and I don't think Chelsea can score more than 1. So I think Burnley will get the first goal, Chelsea will get the second goal, and it's going to finish at 1-1. 1-1 draw is what I'm going with. But a tough game to pick. There's a lot of tough games to pick this weekend.
This weekend.
Yeah, this weekend is some really tough games. So moving on. Fulham at home with Sheffield United. I feel very good about a Fulham win in this game. Sheffield United are really, really struggling right now. Really struggling. Fulham lost at home against Chelsea a couple of nights ago. I don't think they're going to lose 2 in a row at home. I'm going for a Fulham win.
You're going for Fulham. Neither do I. I'm going for Fulham win as well. But still, Raul Jimenez couldn't score a goal.
I know. I mean, if Sheffield United are going to get back on track, this is the game to do it in. Because Fulham do have some problems, and Sheffield United need to get their season back online, and this is a game that could do it. I'm going to go for a Fulham win, though, just 1-0.
I could see some draws here, fellas.
You can see a draw, yeah.
I can see some draws here. So guess what? You're going for 1-0
1-0 Fulham, yeah.
I'm just going to go for a boring 0-0
Could
draw.
be it easily. I mean, listen, that's what Sheffield United need right now. Sheffield United need a boring 0-0. That could get their season going again. I am going to stick with 1-0 Fulham, though.
Perfect.
Man United at home with Brentford. Man United coming off of a loss at home to Palace, a loss at home to Galatasaray. Now they're playing at home against Brentford. Are they going to lose 3 in a row at home?
Who knows?
Who knows? Man, the problem with this game is Man United aren't playing well. Brentford aren't playing well either, but Brentford actually did put in a good performance against Nottingham Forest the other night. It was a 1-1 draw. They were the better team and probably should have won that game, but it finished 1-1.
Yeah.
I think Brentford are going to find a bit of form in this game against Man United as well. I'm going for a draw in this game.
You're going for a draw?
I'm going for a draw.
I'm going to go for Brentford win. Man United crisis still going, still continues.
Man.
I mean, even playing against Crystal Palace at home, Jesus
They look
Christ.
terrible. They look terrible. Brentford, man, they've just been struggling this season. If I had to pick a winner, I would go for Man U. Man U are not losing 3 games at home in 7 days. That would be fucking insane.
Okay.
I don't think Man U have lost 3 home games at Old Trafford in 7 days in 100 years. I mean, we can look that up, but I can't ever think of that happening. I'm going to go for a draw, though, in this game. 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw. Well, I can see some Thomas Frank's masterclass here. Which he always does. And Wilmo and Wissa, it's fucking dangerous. I mean, both of these pair strikers together, Wilmo, Wissa paired together, and their midfield is all from Denmark, Denmark connections.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe Thomas
Frank being Denmark. And right now, Højlund with that great game against Galatasaray being Danish, maybe Thomas Frank will know how to stop him, being Danish, because that's who you got to worry about right now for Man U is Højlund, because he does look pretty good. Maybe Thomas Frank being Danish will know how to stop him, and that could give Brentford an edge in that game.
Yep.
I'm going 1-1.
So go for Thomas Frank, Danish masterclass, 3-1. 3-1
Man,
Brentford.
that's a bold
Onana
pick.
crisis continues.
Oh man, Onana crisis is mental.
I mean, I'm sorry, I do feel bad for him,
This guy's out of control. He is out of control. Absolutely. Yeah. Okay. Tough game to call, though. Very tough game, but
it is.
I'm going to just say 1-1.
I mean, all of this week were pretty tough.
Extremely tough. Late Saturday night game. Another ridiculously difficult game to pick. Crystal Palace at home with Nottingham Forest. Palace coming off of a great win over Man United. Forest coming off of a nice point against Brentford, but I do think Forest were lucky in that game. I do. If a team was going to win it was going to be Brentford. Forest dug deep and got a point. Fair play to them. I'm going for a Crystal Palace win in this game.
Well, neither do I. I don't think Roy Hodgson's going to lose at home.
No.
So I'm going for a new Crystal Palace win.
Yeah, with Palace have got to feel so good about that win over Man United.
They should.
Now they're coming home against Forest. Palace are winning this game. It's a tough one to call, though, but I do like Palace. I'm going 2-0 Palace.
You know what? In the other hand, I like Forest. And but who knows? This could be a draw.
I know. It's a scary game. It could be a draw. I know.
Just for the sake of Steve Coopers, I'm gonna say. I mean, I love Roy Hodgson. So does Steve Coopers.
Yep.
I love Steve Cooper as well. So I'm gonna say this game is gonna be a draw. They can split the points. You know, be cool.
Split the points, man. It's a tough one. I just think Palace, with that momentum from beating Man United, coming back home against Forest, they'll be thinking 3 points, 3 points, 3 points, and I think they're going to get it. Especially a late kickoff. In Palace at home and a late kickoff, like that stadium's going to be bouncing. I know Selhurst Park gets really, really rowdy for these late night kickoffs, and that's going to give Palace an edge as well. So 2-0 Palace.
I'm gonna say Nottingham Forest is maybe they have enough to get a point in this game. I'm just gonna say 2-2 draws.
2-2 draws.
Compare 2-2 draws.
2-2 draw. All right. A lot of games on Sunday.
Yeah.
And some really tough games to call as well. West Ham United at home with Newcastle United. Newcastle United coming off of a famous win over PSG. West Ham have to play tonight in the Europa League. So Newcastle, a lot of momentum. Get one extra day rest. The game is at West Ham. Tough one to call, but I am going for a Newcastle win in this game.
Neither do I. I do think that performance against PSG was outstanding.
Out of this world, yeah.
So I do think that
momentum.
I mean, even and West Ham got a game tonight as well.
Europa League, yeah, it's a killer. Absolute killer.
So maybe, it's not going to help you playing in London Stadium. David Moyes, I mean, you can get fucked. So
could be possibly could be a draw, but man, this has got to be a Newcastle win. It's got to be. I'm going to say Newcastle with a fairly comfortable 2-1.
Comfortable?
Yeah, I think it even could be 2-0 and West Ham get a late goal to make it interesting, but I'm going to say 2-1 Newcastle.
I'm going to say, West Ham with David Moyes. David Moyes knows what he's doing. If they know that they couldn't, play the attacking games, they'll defend. And they wait for the counter-attack moments. So I do think maybe this game's going to be competitive scores, 3-2. 5-goal thriller here, fellas.
3-2 Newcastle.
3-2 Newcastle.
All right, so we both like a Newcastle win in this game. Yep. 1-goal win for Newcastle. But West Ham, you never know. It's a tough one to call, but I'm going for Newcastle win.
Cool.
Wolves at home with Aston Villa. This is a game I want to talk about. Okay, so Aston Villa coming off of an awesome 6-1 win over Brighton last week, and they just hammered them, played really, really good football. Villa have to play tonight now in the conference. Wolves coming off of an awesome win at home over Man City, 2-1, where Wolves really, in my opinion, in that game, that great win over Man City, they became the first team to kind of understand and take advantage how you beat Man City right now. And how you beat Man City is to make them miss Kevin De Bruyne. And no team has done that so far. Like, I can't believe, De Bruyne is Man City's best player. And through their first 6 games, it was so easy for them. Nobody took advantage of him not being there. Wolves did. Man City looked out of ideas. They had no imagination, and it looked like that game could go on another 60 minutes, and Man City were never going to get another goal because Wolves just shut them down. And Man City, we'll talk more about them very, very soon, but Wolves took advantage of that. Nice win for them at home. All that said, I'm going for a Villa win in this game.
Neither do I. I fucking hate Wolves right now, especially Gary O'Neill. He can fuck himself.
It was a great win for Wolves, but they still have problems. I don't think they're going to win 2 games in a row. I don't think they're good enough to do it. Villa looked really, really good. Again, they've got to play tonight, which will give Wolves a slight advantage in that game. But I still like Aston Villa 2-0.
I'm going to say this as well. Aston Villa's going to win. Unai Emery's masterclass again.
Yeah.
2-0. It's not enough to get a pay to fuck Wolves. I'm going to say 4-0.
4-0. Well, they're coming off of 6 against Brighton.
Yeah, now they're getting 4.
4 against Wolves.
4 against Wolves.
I like Villa in this game as well. I just think they've got a little bit too much. Fair play to Wolves. Great win. But I think Villa will have some ideas in this game. I think they'll be able to break Wolves down in this game, and I think they're going to win it. Villa to win it.
4-0.
4-0. Okay. Another Sunday game, which is really, really difficult one to call. Really tough game to call. Brighton at home with Liverpool.
Okay.
So two teams that are in an interesting moment right now. Brighton still having a hell of a good season, but they got their asses kicked against Villa. And now they've got to play away to Marseille tonight in the Europa League, a really, really tough game.
Yep.
Liverpool. We can't get into it too much, but obviously they had some ridiculous decisions go against them. They had decisions go against them that were 50-50 against Spurs, and then they had one decision go against them that was just flat out 1,000% wrong. They played pretty well despite all that. Liverpool play in the Europa League at home tonight.
Yep.
I think that, man, Brighton, I have a lot of respect for them. And they are playing at home. This game could easily be a draw. Curtis Jones can't play because of the red card. I'm going to go for a slight edge to Liverpool, though. Keep this in mind. Brighton absolutely hammered Liverpool twice at the Amex last season. In the Premier League, they beat them 3-0. And in the FA Cup, they got them as well. Brighton really beat the shit out of them. Liverpool are going to remember that. Liverpool owe Brighton a game at the Amex Stadium. They do. I'm going to go for a tough 2-1 win for Liverpool in this game.
You know what? Just hear me out. Okay?
Yep.
Hear me out. Listen to this.
Anything can happen.
Anything can happen, but De Zerbi was fucked last week.
Yeah.
He's gonna be so fucking mad to
Yeah.
his team, and he's gonna be like, "This game, you gotta win this. You gotta
Get
win
back
this
on track,
Just
yeah.
get back on the track." And they're playing at home.
I know, at home,
They're
yeah.
gonna use their momentum
Yeah.
at home advantage.
Yeah.
You know, so I do think Brighton got something in this game. De Zerbi's got something in this game.
Yep. Listen, if Brighton win the game, I wouldn't be surprised. They have so much talent. The problem for Brighton right now, and I've discussed this before on these videos, is when Brighton only have one way to play, and that's attack. And if they give up the first goal, such as they did against Villa, they're in big trouble. There's a pattern of Brighton giving up the first goal and getting their fucking asses handed to them. It happened against Newcastle. It happened against, not Newcastle. It happened against Everton last season. It happened against Newcastle this season.
West Ham.
It happened, West Ham this season. It happened against Villa last weekend. If Brighton give up the first goal, they're in big, big trouble. It's been going on for many, many months now. And if Liverpool get the first goal, Brighton are going to be up against it again. Man, this is such a tough game. The smart pick in this game is a draw because it's really, really tough one. I'm going to go with a slight edge to Liverpool being highly motivated as to what happened last week against Spurs. Liverpool having a home match in the Europa League tonight. I think they're playing Union GPC from Belgium, which they'll be playing all the reserve players in that game, so they'll be fresh for the game. Brighton don't have that advantage. Brighton will have to be playing their best players away to Marseille tonight in a very tough game in the Europa League. Man, a double chance is a good shout in this game as well, but I'm going to go for a Liverpool win.
You know what? I'm just gonna say this. I do think Brighton's gonna win.
Okay.
Because of last week.
Yep.
You know, all of his players fucked up the Zerbi real bad.
Yep.
He's gonna be like, this game you're gonna do it for me. This
Okay.
game, it's gonna be, they're coming with all of their fires. They're gonna be on fire. They're gonna be well motivated to like, let's destroy Liverpool. You know what? I'm just gonna think, I don't wanna say this, you know, but I think the score is going to be 3-0.
3-0. Well, I disagree with that. But what I don't disagree with is Brighton being able to win the game. I don't disagree with that. But keep this in mind as well. Liverpool were so atrociously and obviously fucked by the Premier League last weekend with the Diaz goal and finishing with 9 men with some awful decisions. Don't be surprised if there's a controversial decision or a bad decision that goes Liverpool's way this weekend. It's impossible for there not to be a human element involved in this game. Like, I know the Premier League feels terrible about it and the refs feel terrible about it. And if there's a tight decision, don't be surprised if Brighton have a red card or if Liverpool get a controversial penalty in this game.
Okay.
It really could happen. I wouldn't be surprised. It's only human for this to go on.
Just for the sake of human beings.
Yeah, with that said, a draw is the safe pick. A Liverpool win is a decent pick, but a Brighton win is not out of the question because they have so much talent and they're playing at home.
Yeah, and so does Liverpool. They out of Curtis Jones is out. So
Curtis Jones is out.
was it?
Jota, and also Kobe Gatto's out as well. He took an injury, so Liverpool are missing some players.
Missing some players.
So
this could be a slight advantage.
Slight advantage. If Brighton, I'm just going to finish with this.
Okay.
The first goal in this game is uber important.
Yeah.
Whoever gets the first goal in this game is going to win it. If Liverpool get it, they're definitely going to win. If Brighton get it, they're most likely going to win. Just watch out for the first goal in this game. It's really, really, really important.
Okay.
So we got to move on to the match of the weekend.
Last game of the week.
Last game of the week.
wanna say
Arsenal
this.
at home with Man City.
Since we've started this series, we always discussed about this game.
Yep.
Arsenal against Man City.
Yep.
For like, do you remember the last time we talked about this game?
We talked about it a lot.
We talked about it a lot.
Well, Man City beat them 3 times last season. But they've already played once this year in the Community Shield, and Arsenal did beat them. And that could give them some confidence going into this game. They're playing at home. Last time at home, they had an ugly 2-2 with Spurs.
Yeah.
They're coming off of a 4-0 win over Bournemouth. They did lose 2-1 to Lens in the Champions League the other night. Really ugly game for them. Saka is going to miss this game for Arsenal. De Bruyne is going to miss it for Man City. De Bruyne is going to be out for a very, very long time. People need to realize that Man City are not the same team without De Bruyne, and it's really going to start to show that how much that they miss him. This game has draw written all over it. What do
I
you
don't
think?
see it that way.
Don't see it that way.
I don't see it that way. I can
Okay.
see some Julian Alvarez, masterclass. Yesterday, he scores like a banger. I mean, he scores the second goal for Man City to beat Leipzig.
Yep.
He bends it to the far corner pretty nice and pretty cool. And he does it, he scores a bloody amazing free kick against Wolves as well.
Yep.
So I do think if Alvarez starts in this game, it's going to be a little problem for Arsenal. And, you know what? I'm going to say this. So Man City already beat them 3 times.
Yep.
The streaks is going to continue.
Continue.
Yep, because here guys, I'm gonna tell you fun facts here. So last season I was texting with some of my mates, he was in Switzerland and he was an Arsenal fan. You remember it, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
So since the end of the seasons, I always tease him with some Arsenal memes. They're like, Man City are winning and you're shit, something like that.
Yeah.
And then he just blocked me.
Oh, God.
And
Has he
now-
unblocked you since?
Not yet.
Oh, wow.
We haven't spoken yet. So guess what? If you're watching this, you can go fucked up. You go fuck yourself. And Arsenal is going to be playing with players full of prima donnas mindset in this game. So I don't think Man City is going to win, but the score is going to be tight. I don't know. There's no problem this time. Even Rodri's out.
Rodri's out, I know. Man, I'm going for a 1-1 draw. I'm going, and I actually feel very good about that pick as well, that this game is a draw. I cannot see either team winning it. Man City, to me right now, without De Bruyne, Erling Haaland was a ghost against Wolves. There were a few games last season, despite him scoring 36 goals, breaking the Premier League record, where he was a ghost as well. But with De Bruyne in there, you always knew, next game, bang, he was going to get a hat trick. De Bruyne ain't there right now. He was a ghost against Wolves, and De Bruyne ain't there to feed him the ball for him to make this quick, immediate comeback. I think that Arsenal playing at home is definitely going to get 1 goal. I know they don't have Saka, but they've got talent. Declan Rice, this could be a Declan Rice special. It really could. This is the kind of guy, Declan Rice, strong personality, strong character to push them over the line in a big match. Hell, Arsenal could win this game now that I think about it, but I am sticking with a draw because I got a lot of respect for Man City. I like a draw in this game.
Listen to this. I'm saying this now, and the result is going to end up like this. Man City is going to win 3-1.
3-1, man.
3-1.
Okay.
I mean, I don't care if Arsenal how good there was. I mean, we're talking about standards here, guys. I don't care if the point is out. We've got Alvarez, we've got Haaland, Grealish, Doku.
I mean, they got loads of talent. Man City does. I mean, God, I just don't know if they've got the imagination to break down Arsenal in this game.
I think they got enough.
They didn't have the imagination to break down Wolves last week, and how the hell are they going to find that creativity to break down Arsenal? I don't know. They're going to need something special from Jack Grealish, something out of this world from Phil Foden to be able to break down that Arsenal defending. It's going to be really tough for them. But, man, Phil Foden and Jack Grealish are world-class players. They, of course, can do it, but I just think they're going to miss De Bruyne again. 1-1 draw for me. But you're going 3-1.
3-1, man.
All right. So let's get into where we want our money at this weekend. And it is tough. It's tough for me to say where I feel good about my money this weekend, but this is my 3-team teaser.
All right, here we go.
I'm going for an Aston Villa win over Wolves. That one I can say I feel good about, Villa over Wolves.
Okay.
I feel pretty good. Can't believe I'm saying this, but I feel pretty good about having Everton beat Bournemouth.
Okay.
I'm going to have that in there. And this is my other one to round it out. A double chance, Luton Town against Spurs. I've just got a feeling. I can't really describe it. I can't really explain it, but I've just got a feeling on a Luton Town double chance. So that's my 3-team teaser. Luton Town double chance, Everton to win, Aston Villa to win. And let's see what happens. And if there's one other game that I would put some money on a side bet that I feel pretty good about, is I do like Crystal Palace to beat Nottingham Forest at home. I feel pretty good about that one.
Okay, that's quite sharp.
So that's where I'm going to have my money at this weekend.
Gentlemen,
this is it. Ladies.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen,
Yeah.
welcome to another show of my 3-team teaser, which is going to be quite risky, but I promise you, if it hits, it's going to be a big payout. You'll get that sweet chunk of money. So first game, I do think Chelsea crisis is going to continue.
Yep.
This could be a chance for Burnley to get a win at home. So you can go for a Burnley win, or if you want to go a little bit safe, go for a double chance Burnley. I think it's going to hit for sure.
I'm not going to disagree with that. I'm not like my pick in that game is a draw. So I think a Burnley double chance is a really, really, really good idea. So I'm with you on that.
Next game, easy. Man City over Arsenal.
There's nothing easy about that. that is tough. But I know being a Man City guy, fair play. You got to back them. But that's a tough game. Okay, so Man City to win.
Yep.
Burnley to win or Burnley double chance.
Yep.
What else you got?
Last but not least,
Lay it on
I've
me.
been chatting on him already about this game.
Yep.
He goes for the opposite.
Yep.
But I do think Spurs gonna nail this game. I
Okay.
don't think. I mean, you can just.
Fair enough.
Just take this as our advice, okay?
Yeah.
Just you can just think about it yourself. But I'm just saying this. I don't think Spurs gonna win over Luton Town.
I mean, they're heavy favorites in that game. They're unbeaten. They're playing well, and they most likely will win it. But I think Luton Town's gonna have something special in that game. Let's find out.
Pretty cool. So that's our advice for this video, guys.
That's it. So get
yeah.
that money out. Get those bets going. We'll be back soon. International break coming up, sadly. But let's make some money this weekend. Like, subscribe, enjoy. We love everybody out there.
So hope to see you guys again in the next match day 9
Coming up.
for today. Adios.
Adios.